Hello, good evening everyone. This is Kim with Kim's Creations and Card Ministry. I am coming to you on video Thursday, May the 25th, 2023. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I am in the upstate of South Carolina. And I make cards to share with people. I give them to people. The like older and infirmed people, like for Meals on Wheels, they take them when they take them meals, or to the nursing homes or the Veterans Hospital. And I've done Children's Hospital and other nursing homes at times. So that's ultimately like what I like to do with the cards, is give them away and share the joy and the kindness. I'm working on another outreach that I haven't started yet, but I'm having just a hard time keeping up with getting the cards done. It's just so hard to get them done. So anybody that would like to join my team to help me get cards out to people, that would be awesome. It would also be awesome if you decided you wanted to purchase any of the items in our Stampin' Up store and use me as your demonstrator if you don't have one already. I'll share some of that information in a few minutes. These are a couple of the cards I've been working on this week, and I'm not going to show you how to make these tonight. I just thought they were cute and I could lay them there while I'm doing my introduction. But they're from that Little Monkey set. I believe that's what it's called. Yep, Little Monkey stamp set. And this stamp set has a coordinating punch that you can punch this little monkey out of with the legs that are straight. I was trying to figure out what that is on my case. But anyway, so this little monkey can be punched. So it makes him a lot easier to do. Most of this stuff is just stamping and coloring with the Stampin' Blends markers that are like these from Stampin' Up. And they're blending alcohol markers. So you can get a little bit of texture in your coloring if you want to. You don't have to. I'm very amateur at it. I'm a little past a beginner. Just a little bit past a beginner. So, but I just thought this was a really cute idea to do some things different with the monkeys. I think I had shown you how I had monkeys in the teacups. The teacups I don't think those are available anymore. They were retiring, and they might be, and I think they're sold out. So I think the teacups are gone, but you can probably find some that somebody's selling. The other set that I used besides the monkey is this Crafting with You set. So in this one I featured the easel and this little basket here and all of these have die cuts with them. The easel and the basket, the little paint brushes, this little ruler, and of course the monkey and the banana came off of the monkey set. And I hand cut that banana. I fussy cut that little banana right there. But you can see all the nice little things that come with this set. You know what? I think I even have everything stamped. Let's see. I do. Because this is such an awesome set. So here we have everything. These are all the stamps in the set for Crafting with You. There's the easel. There's this little clump of flowers. There's an individual flower. There's an individual little heart that you can stamp. There's your paint brushes, sewing machine, yarn, and this basket, and the little die cut and emboss machine by Stampin' Up. And then they've got these nice sentiments, sending you a handmade hug, sorry. You inspire me with love, and life is better when you're crafting. So I'm willing to say everybody's got somebody in their life that likes to craft, whether they sew or knit or scrapbook, paint. There's just so many crafts out there, and I'm sure somebody does some of them. But to expand on that a little bit, we've got these great die cuts. So check this out. First of all the stamps, with the exception of the words, all the stamps can be die cut. Okay, so here you go. There, we've die cut our easel. There's that little basket. There's the paint brushes and the ruler and the yarn and the sewing machine and the stamp cut and emboss machine, the flowers, the smaller flower. That's the heart right there. But look at all the extra things. We bought another basket. We have scissors, y'all. These scissors are so cool. Look at that. A paper trimmer. Isn't that cute? You can even slide, well, I've got it glued in there so it wouldn't fall out, but you could slide your little piece of paper, or you could got your little cutting blade right there too. And then look, here's bobbins to go on the sewing machine, and you can do, and you also have the different colors of thread that you can put on the spools or the bobbins. Little buttons, more little hearts, a little tiny flower cut out and a star cut out. And y'all, look at this, an embroidery hoop. An embroidery hoop. So these little monkeys are goofing off. So this one's playing in the yarn and has kind of made a mess. And this little monkey here is playing hula hoop with the embroidery hoop. So I just thought that was fun to do that. And then of course this little monkey stands on the basket and has painted his picture with the bananas, which, you know, that's very important to the little monkey. So this is just a great set. It did take, I won't lie, it does take time to go through and cut out everything if you're wanting to cut out everything. But I did cut out multiples, like I cut out multiple pairs of scissors, and I cut out several of these because I used two colors. I used a white and the gray to cut the machine out, and so I had to cut one apart and put them together. The same thing with the scissors. So I had to cut out two scissors to get one pair of scissors if I wanted them two different colors, which I did. Let's see. But so that was a little bit more work to cut out. This one's a little bit more work to cut out. But that's probably, you know, the thread, because these are two different pieces. You've got the little spool, or the spool underneath, and then the thread is a separate piece. But aren't these cute? They're just so doggone cute. Just precious. So if you're interested in crafting with you can get it. You can get the stamps by themselves, you can get the dies by themselves, or you can do a combination pack with the two of them and get 10% off when you combine them. So this Crafting with You stamp set is on page 91 in the annual catalog. It is $21. The code to order is 161219. If you want just the dies, they're $39 by themselves. 161225, $39. They'll be towards the back, but if you go to 91, it tells you what page those are on. If you want to buy them together as a combination, you can get the combined set for $54, and you would use a different number. SKU number would be 161226, and that would get you the combo items for $54. I just love this set, and I'm going to do something this weekend with my class that I'm having. I'm going to try to get this video loaded up before my class. So this little, so this one, I put this heart, the heart with this one, in this color. So that's my envelope. But let's look at the inside of this one. Sending you a handmade hug. And there's the inside. Thinking of you, caring about you, wishing you strength and peace. This sentiment came from a new set that I just got. It came from Bold Bouquet, which I really love. I've only used it a little bit, but I love these, the sentiments that are on here. I like the size, that you can see them well, and I like that this one's just really special. So I have somebody I'm going to stick that one in the mail to tomorrow, so I wanted to be sure I got this one on a video so everybody could see it before I stuck it in the mail. The other one on the inside of it, so Hooray It's Your Day. Cannot remember what set that comes from. And, oh, and I had this little ribbon over here on the side that's in the catalog. And when we open this one up, it's a happy birthday. That happy birthday also came out of this set. And then the monkey's playing with the basket on his head. So I hope you enjoy my little monkey cards. And I hope you've enjoyed looking at this set right here for the crafting with you. And now I'm going to get started on the card I was going to show you today. Actually, this is kind of a wing it as I go. I know I know the card base. I know what kind of card I'm making. It's a fun fold. And I know the dimensions and everything. I might have to cheat a little bit to get them. But I haven't done a card with the items that I'm planning on using in this card, if that makes any sense. So that part of it, we're just kind of winging it tonight. So I've got my cutter here, and what we need, you need a 8.5 11 piece of paper. I'm using Misty Moonlight. It was an old color. It was a color last year, and the year before it was one of the in colors, and they brought it back and made it part of the core colors. We're going to turn this long ways, and on the short end, on the 8.5 side, we're gonna cut it at 5.5. Okay, so you're only going to be able to get one card out of this 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Now, if you had 12 by 12, you could get 2 cards out of it, because you would do it, you know, each one 5.5. So that's 11. You'd still have an inch of paper left over if you did 12 by 12. So you could get 2 out of it. We do have this leftover space piece right here. And so it's, what, 3 inches? And I think there's something where you can do this like at 6 or 6.5, and you fold it in half. And it can be like a joy card, where you put a card in a little card and make it part of a bigger card. Or you can use it as a flap on a fold card. So anyway, you can still use these pieces, and actually I plan on doing that. I'm having we're actually going to make some bookmarks. I don't think these are going to work for my bookmarks because of the colors. No, I'll have to get a different color, but you could use these as like the back side of a bookmark if you wanted to do that. So what I'm doing, and I'll go ahead and show you that, because I just stamped this a little while ago. I stamped this using Nature's Prints, mostly, stamp set. I used Pretty Peacock, that new golden, that wheat color, wild wheat I think it is. I used Moody Mauve. I used Lagoon, Lost Lagoon I think is what it's called. I used the Bubble Bath. And I splattered the Boho Blue. I think that's all the colors that I used on it. These 2 pieces will be a card base for like a front of the card. Not a base, but like a background piece. And then I've cut these 2 in half, so you got 4 bookmarks. And what I'm planning to do with them is I've got Bible verses that will stamp these Bible verses and put them on kind of in this little empty space right here. I think we'll put them on a separate piece of paper though, because I'm not sure there's enough room to stamp them over there and them not get lost. But we're going to use these on a bookmark, on the bookmarks. So my class, we're going to make 4 bookmarks, and we're going to make 2 cards out of this. So we've got a busy day in card class. All right, and then this card I'm working on right now is another one I want to do in the card class. So I thought, since I got to make one now anyway, I might as well video us making it. And I was working on cutting paper. I was going to go ahead and score it for everybody, and I've scored one already for myself. It's going to look that I'm going to do my practice one on. And then I messed up scoring one, so I'm like, I got to get another piece of paper. And then I decided I might as well video it, since I'm having to start from the beginning again. So here's my, it's 11 this way, 11 this way, 5.5 this way. So we're gonna score it on the long side. We're gonna start at 4 1/8. 4 1/8. And then I'm gonna take it out next to 6 7/8. So that's more than 3/4. So it's halfway between the 3/4 and then the next whole number, which is 7. 6 7/8. So we're going to score it there. And then I messed up on my last score on my other one. So this is supposed to be 9, which is way out here, and 5/8, which is just 1/8 more than a half. Okay, so there's a half, and then there's one more 1/8, so that would be 5/8. And so we're going to score there. And then when you fold this together, it comes like this, and you got this little triple panel thing. Okay, so this is the one we're going to work on tonight. I'm setting those aside for my class for tomorrow. I'm probably going to need my cutter to trim some paper, so I'm going to just leave it out for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and see if I got enough room to use my bone folder to get these down. You see my scrap paper down there. I've been working on some of my friendship royalty cards, but I'm not ready to share those yet. I will share them at some point, but not yet. I'll make sure this is down good here on all the little edges. I think I got them all pretty good. I might have to work on it a little bit more. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I'm going to need some papers to go here in these 3 spots. So I think I'm going to use... Oh, okay, so these papers came out of one of the paper packs in the catalog. It's the set, it's the Go Fishing, Let's Go Fishing set. So this is a Let's Go Fishing Designer Series paper. So I got 2 of the pieces out of that paper pack. And so this is what one of them looks like. Isn't that pretty back there? And the little fish on this side. And this one's like, kind of like a geographical map that has what do you call them, the latitudes and longitudes, and places are marked on them, like for a sailor to use or something. And then this side I thought looked like water, so that's kind of why I like this side, because of the water. And this one's kind of driftwoody looking, but it's blue driftwood instead of like a dark brown or a gray driftwood. But that's okay. It's because these are the colors that I like, and I think they look nice. This was one of the suggested colors, was the Misty Moonlight. And so that's why I'm using this. So we're going to need a piece. We're going to need them on the front for sure. And you can put them on these back pieces. Actually, I usually put a white piece right here. But I might put a white piece here, because I've got an idea for this actually. And I might rather use a white piece right here. So I'm thinking... Oh, what do I want to do? I think I'll put the driftwood piece here and the water piece here, and then I'll put another water piece here and another driftwood piece here. So I need the 2 driftwood pieces to be the same size. All right, so this is so this is 1 1/2. Is it a half or not quite a half? I'm thinking it's not quite 1 1/2. It's not quite 1 1/2. I'm going to do this 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to take my driftwood piece, and I'm paying attention to which way. You know what? I forgot I could use this side of my paper. Actually, I will. I'll use the fish. I'm going to use the fish and the driftwood. So I'll show you in a minute. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to cut this at 1.5 inches to start with. And if I take that all the way out to my white piece right here, to the end, or actually I think it goes all the way to where it stops. Is it to the white? I think that's 1.5 inches right there. I'll tell you how I can know. This is 12 by 12 paper. If I take it to there, yeah, 10.5, and then 1.5 inches is what's left. So yeah, you take it all the way, cover up the white on this side, and from this side over this way is 1.5 inches, and that's easier than having all the paper over this way on this side and just that little strip sticking right here 1.5 inches. So it's just when you're doing anything but like 1/4 inch or 1 inch or 1/2 inch, cut it so that your paper's on this side, because then you don't have that much paper that's laying out flat and just flopping around. All right, so 1.5. Okay. I think that's what I said. I bet I was supposed to make it 1 1/4. That's okay. That won't kill my paper situation. Now I'm going to turn it. I know I was supposed to do 5 1/4 because my card is 5 1/2, and I'm going to do it 1/4 inch shorter. So 5 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and do a second one. Whoops, used my scoring tool instead. 5 1/4. And if I wanted to cover up the entire front, there's a nice little square right there. If I wanted to cover up the entire front, I could certainly keep it this width, but it's a little bit too big, so I'm going to take it back down now to 1 1/4. And then I might can use that little piece for something. So I'm just going to take off 1/4 inch of both of these. 1/4 inch. I still hadn't decided 100% if I'm going to use the fish or not, but that's good. We're good. 1/4 inch. And I'll save these little strips for something else too. Come over here out of the way. And then this piece, I know I'm going to need 2 this side. It's because I'm going to save this. I'm going to do this one in white. So I need, and this is going to be the same size on both. And I'm going to make both of these to be the water pieces. And that is, it's 2 3/4. So I need to make this paper be 2 1/2. So now this time I've got to bring it out this side to get it to do 2 1/2. I have to bring it out the other side because my ruler doesn't go out that far on the other side. 2 1/2. All right. And again, these are going to be by 5 1/4. And I wanted to make sure that my waves are going in the right direction because my card's going to go this way. So I wanted my waves to go across this way. So 5 1/4. Whoops, I keep using my scoring tool. It's going to fall off in here in a minute. It keeps falling off. And 5 1/4. And I have a little scrap left over that I'll just put over here. Save it for another project. So there we go. There's enough now. So this is really just enough to do one card because I'm going to do the front and back of this one and the front and back of this one. Okay? And then I need my inside piece. And I think I have some of those cut already. I just need to double check the size of them. Now, normally, when you do card fronts or when you do insides of cards, most people do them 1/4 inch smaller all the way around. And typical card is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And so then the inside of the card would be 5 1/4 by 4. And this one is 4, and it is 5 1/4. But you remember what we scored this at? We scored it at 4 1/8. So that's really going to take almost the whole page from side to side. So I'm going to go ahead and take another 1/8 of an inch off of this on this side, okay? So that it'll leave me a little bit more of a border, because I want to have a little bit more of a border. So I'm going to just take off 1/8, which is just a little bit, okay? You don't have to do much. And I don't think I can do a lot with 1/8 of a piece of white paper, so I'm throwing that one away. All right, so this is going to go here. But I've got something I want to stamp on it first. Like I said, I'm kind of winging this card. I'm kind of figuring out what I'm going to do as I go. But that's okay. I might figure it out and decide I don't like it and wish I had done something else. But that's okay. We figure it out as we go. I'm going to move these out of my way. I want to get a clean piece of paper. Clean piece. Well, it's mostly clean. There we go. And I'm going to uncover my name and all that good stuff. So, and hopefully that's in the video so you can see it. So my host code for the month of May is there. If you decide you'd like to order from me and use me as your demonstrator, you look me up, you go stampinup.com, say find a demonstrator. Ooh, my little things are coming off. No. Hang on. Got to save this. Hold on just a minute. I got to save these. Calypso Coral. That's the one on the bottom. The little sticker thing just got stuck. We're coming off the bottom of my case, and I might actually want to use those for something. So I'm going to put them back on here. I don't know why they came off. Never had that happen before. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so go to stampinup.com, say find a demonstrator. You go do the little pull down menu on the side, little lines at the top corner mean that's a menu, and so there's little lines like that, and you click on that and it has a pull down menu, and you say find a demonstrator. And when you click on that, it'll say you can put in a name or you can put in a city and state. So Kimberly O'Brien, O-B-R-I-E-N, or you can put in the city and state, Anderson, South Carolina, and I should come up. And then you can use me as your demonstrator. And then when you get ready to check out, if you have $150 worth of product, you're going to get some free rewards. You're going to get rewards that you can add to your order. So if you have right at $150, it's $15, okay? So it's a 10% off of $150. That percentage goes up a little bit with, I think, maybe each increment of maybe $50 or something. The percentage goes up a tiny bit. But anyway, it starts at the 10%. So you would get $15 on $150. But if you don't spend $150, that's when I ask you to please use my host code, because then I can get the free points. I can add them up together and get free things so I can start giving them away to you, to people that watch me and comment and like and share and all that good stuff. And I could put everybody's name in a pot and draw out prizes. And that's why it's so important that if you're watching this video, that you would please go and subscribe to my subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll probably upload this to Facebook and to YouTube. Facebook lets me do lives. I cannot do lives on YouTube without 50 subscribers. I have to have a minimum of 50. And then I think they're still going to limit how many live I can do. So please go subscribe to my channel on YouTube, so I can start doing lives on there and get a lot of people watching, and we can start giving out prizes. I've got some up here to give away now, but if I don't have enough people watching on a live, it's kind of hard to give away a prize. But if you need to reach me for any reason, you can text me and tell me who you are, what you need, and I'll call you back, 864-752-5688. And my email address is there too, but the best way to reach me is by texting me. All right, so I was going to stamp something. Oh, I hope I didn't put that I bet I've got the stamp that I need on something else, on another stamp on that block. I'm gonna set this over here, get it out of my way for now. I am looking for this stamp right here, Waves of Inspiration. It is in the catalog right now. It was in last year's annual catalog. They did carry this over, and there's also a set of dies that goes with it. Right now I'm just gonna deal with the stamp set, okay? I'm hoping I can get everything I need without using dies, because another card we're going to be making in my class is going to take longer, and I'd rather not have to take that long. So what I need is this, the wave actually, and see how big it is? And I put something on my, no, it's not really my biggest, it sort of is. So my biggest stamp block, the biggest one I have from Stampin' Up is the size E block. But see, this doesn't even fit on the E. It's too long. But I don't think it matters. I don't think I need that part. But this block is actually, this block is 4 1/4. By about almost 3 1/2. It looks like it's a little bit left, so it might be 3 3/8. But that's the biggest. There's at least one block bigger than this. I have another block down here. I don't want to take this off of here because it's dirty, for one thing. I'll get the ink on my fingers. I'm going to go wash it in a little bit because I'm using it tomorrow. I'm going to pull out some contraband here. I've got this stamp. It's not a Stampin' Up stamp. I've had it for many, many years, and I'm going to try to use it. It's bigger than what I need. You know, I don't really need that whole, I don't really need the whole thing. Here we go. Because I've only got, what, 4 1/8 or less than 4 inches here. I've got 3 7/8 here, so I'm not going to need that long of a piece because I'm not doing it this direction. I'm doing it this direction. So I just need that little bit right there. Let's see how. I'll probably have it come off the edge a little bit. So I want to make sure I get it on there good. I could probably go up a little bit. That might be kind of cool to try something like that. All right, let me think about my other colors here. That looks like a Misty Moonlight probably, and Balmy Blue. I'm thinking are the colors that are in there. It's kind of what it looks like. Well, we will try it. We'll try it in Misty Moonlight, which I think I've moved over here to use on this other card. Let me get that out. Oh my goodness. Misty Moonlight. There it is. And since this is not on one of those photopolymer stamps, it's a red rubber stamp, has some padding behind it, so I'm not going to worry about putting the little sponge thing underneath, or if you have a an old mouse pad, something like that would work. So I'm going to just try to do it this way and see how it turns out. We will just see. And since it's such a big stamp, I'm going to do it this way. Put my ink on it this way. And I don't have to go all the way over there. I am going to come over a little bit. But I don't have to go all the way over because I'm not going to, it's not going to reach that far. There's not that much space on my card that needs stamping. This is an old ink pad because I had it from, I say it's old, it's not that old, but I had it from last year. I've probably had it 2 years because I bought it shortly after it came out, I think, as one of the in colors. Make sure I'm up there where y'all can see me. Look at that, I already got ink on something. I'm going to try to get it as straight as I can. But these big blocks are kind of hard to hold actually. If you have a Stamparatus or some other kind of positioning thing for stamps, these big stamps like this is great for using something like that, because then you can just fold it over and not worry about holding your hand. Look at that, I still went down there. I was trying to go up far enough where I wouldn't get that at the bottom. I might have to go back and do something about that. But I'm gonna try going up again. Maybe go back a little bit, like that. Let's see how that looks. So here, we're playing. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna play a little bit and see how we like all this. I just want to make sure I get plenty of ink on it so that when I put it down, I get a good image. And I'll go back and fix that in a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna come up a little bit. I'm gonna come up and over to my left a little bit. Okay, and I might do that one more time. Okay, there we go. It still looks oceany. Trying to decide if I want to use a different color. Let me do it one more time. Then I might go back over it again with a different color. So let's see. And again, I'm going to take it up and over to the left just a little bit again. So over, up, and over. Oh, I don't have enough ink on this side out here now. I'm gonna have to put more on it this time. Because if I slide it over, I'm using more of this other side of the stamp pad now. All right, so let's do up and over. There we go. Okay, I'm okay with that. Now I do want to fix my bottom, and I think I'm going to do that by just turning it upside down and putting some ink at the bottom. I'm just doing that, and hopefully that'll take care of that edge down there. Yeah, there we go. That worked. That worked pretty good. Now, I'm trying to decide, do I want to try to put some balmy blue on top of that? I'm kind of thinking I do. I'm curious how that's going to look. All right, let me get some of my ink off of my pad here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my chamois to clean it off. But I want to go ahead and get some of that ink off of there first before I get the chamois. So the chamois, it's just this little spongy thing that you put water in it and squeeze out the excess, and then you can just wipe your stamps on it. It stays wet in this little kind of like a DVD case. I'll make sure I don't get my pieces wet. I'll move them out of the way. So I'm just going to clean this off on my chamois right here. I'm trying to stay in the camera, and I stood up to look to make sure that I do have this in the camera. So hopefully I haven't been going off too much. I think I'm staying on. Now, since again this is such a big stamp, I'm actually going to pull that out a little bit to try to clean those edges, because I don't want this ink getting in the lighter color ink that I'm getting ready to use. So I just want to be sure I get it pretty much off so I don't mix it into the other ink. All right, I'm going to try this balmy blue. We're going to see what happens. If I don't like it, get another piece of card. cardstock. It's paper. It's not that hard to come by yet, anyway. You know, though, in the digital world that we live in, paper is getting, and especially like letters and envelopes, and you know, people don't send cards and letters anymore. They do everything digital. I still think people like getting cards in the mail. As a matter of fact, I'm sure of it. I know people enjoy getting cards. They want to get something in the mail besides a bill or a solicitation, you know, to buy this or buy that, or to vote for this person or to vote for that person. I'm sure that people would prefer to get a card. All right, let's see how we go here. So let's see how this does. You're not going to be in the exact same positions as the original waves were, and that's okay. I don't really want them in the exact same positions because I'd like it to fill in some of the white spaces, which it did a little bit. So let me go again. I'm gonna have to go a couple more times. I'm trying to get an extra color in there a little bit, kind of like that one, like that they did on that paper. So I'm gonna go up a little bit and to the left a little bit. And I'll do it one more time. This time I'm doing the whole thing. All right, and then again up and over a little bit more to the left. Okay, and then I'm going to come back down here again and see if I can get some of this color in that, because there's an awful lot of white right there, and do kind of like I did earlier when I had to fill in that other spot. But I'm not going to do it down as low. I'm going to come up a little bit and hope I fill in that white spot a little bit. If I don't, it's not that big a deal. We'll let it go. But we're going to try. So I'm thinking about right. About right here maybe. We'll see. Let's see how it does. Yeah, that filled it in some. All right, I'm okay with this. I kind of like the way it looks. You can try this if you want to, or you can try doing just one wave. You could always go and die cut a wave in some pretty blue paper and lay it on top of it, or even lay it on like a piece of silver paper or something like that. Now the other thing that I'm going to do is I am going to get a linen brush. Make sure it's pretty clean. I mean, it's blue, but I want to make sure it doesn't have too much left on it and use the wrong, you know, not use the right blue, because I want this balmy blue to come back here. I think I want balmy blue anyway, and I'm going to put some up here in my sky, for my sky. I need to find birds. I see one bird in that one set. I think that's the only set that has birds, and it's just got one. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try something else just for the heck of this. Let me see this. Cloud Punch. Cloud Punch is 157749. It's in the section with the punches. I don't remember how much it costs. Maybe $18. I'm not sure. It came out, I think, a year ago in the spring catalog, and then they carried it over. Now they're still keeping it. All right, so what I want to do here with this I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm thinking about setting it right here and sponging around it a little bit. Or maybe here and then here. Let's do it over here first. I want to get, I think what I'll do is put some temporary tape on it. Hopefully it'll stay in place. So, I didn't know this the first time I bought this tape. So this is Tombow tape. This is not sold by Stampin' Up. They do sell Tombow glue, but they don't sell the tape runners that are Tombow. But Tombow, you can get a 3-pack. You can get a pack that has permanent lines, strips. You can get permanent dots, or you can get temporary. This is temporary. I didn't know that was temporary one time, like the first time I used it, and I had made all these cards, and then I came in the next day, and my cards were like falling apart. I didn't know what in the world was going on. And then I'm like, oh, it's temporary tape. No wonder. So anyway, I had to go like put some cards back down again. So I'm going to try to get around the edges a little bit. I don't want to get it too dark, but I kind of have a little cloud in my sky there. A little bit of an outline. Let me see how this looks. Yeah. And so there's some of that temporary tape coming off. I'll have a little, just a tiny bit of blue in it. And then I think I'm going to do another one, like right here. Hopefully my tape will stay a little bit longer. Oop, it moved. I better pick it up. Ooh, I don't know. Put some more tape on it. I might stick it back down and do it a little bit more. See if I can get it to do a little bit more. Because it was, I think it shifted on me a little bit and messed up. Let's try that again. So this is the blending brushes, and you use them just like I'm showing you. You stick them in your ink pad, or you can put some ink on a block and do it off of the block. And you get a little bit of it off your stamp, off of your blending brush first, so it doesn't make a blotchy spot. There, that's better. Come back down here a little bit. And you use your blending brushes this way. They come in a pack of 3. You can get, this is the larger size. So, I mean, my hands aren't very big. If I do a really small balled up fist, it's kind of like that size. The smaller ones, probably 2/3 this size. So you could get in like smaller places with it. But these, you don't have to have one for every color. You can have one like for blues, or and maybe one for dark blues, and then one for purples, and one for reds, and one for pinks, and you know, so you don't need them, because what you can do, you can kind of wipe it off pretty good on your paper. Or somebody mentioned using a microfiber cloth to clean them off pretty good, and then just stick it in another blue. I would consider this one a light blue. You know, balmy blue is kind of light. And then for those darker blues, you might want to have a different one. You can also wash these. So I will use them several times before I go wash them. But I always kind of check them first to see how much ink's still on them from the last time I used them. I'm really kind of starting to like this. Let me turn my paper over. It's still got stuff on it, but that's better. Because even there, as you can see, there's the 2 different colors right there. Making that line is kind of, because that's out in the distance, so it's a little bit more of a lighter blue than the color is that's closer to you. I like the way that looks a lot. All right, so let me stick that back in here. I'm gonna get out my little bird. I know I only have one little bird, so I'm just praying that he stamps well. He doesn't leave a halo. And I can stamp him a few times. I'll practice with him a couple times first. So I'm going to use just black for my bird. Basic black, Memento, basic black. All right, and see, it's just one little bird. And it's a red rubber stamp. It's also out of the set, Waves of Inspiration right there. But I just don't, sometimes if you stamp these and you push down too hard, let me show you. That one's not bad. If you're not careful, the edge will get ink on it if you push down too hard in your ink pad. And then when you go lay it down on the paper, if you're not just going straight up and down, you lay it down on the paper and then you get extra stuff where you didn't want it. So just be careful with that. I'm going to go ahead and stamp them over on this side. See, I sort of got a little mark right there, and I didn't even stamp it that hard. I'm going to try to cover it a little bit. Well, I'm not being too successful. I'm just going to stamp a handful of these little guys. And put a couple over on this side. All right, let's come down a little bit lower with one right here. There we go. So got our birds, got our sky, got some clouds. And then this is gonna go in our card right here. Let's see, and then this is what we'll see. We'll see a little bit of it sticking out, and that's okay. That's like kind of like seeing some more designer paper. So I'm okay with that. I just wish I hadn't gotten those little black spots right there. I don't know if I can get them off, but it's okay. When I finish putting the card together, there'll be other stuff that hopefully they'll be distracted. Now, I lost my pen that came with this, which I think must have been a stainless steel pen. This one's obviously not because it's rusting. And so when I first start putting my glue out, it's getting a little bit of a rust stain on there. So, just to warn you, if you use a pen, stick a pen in your glue and it's not a stainless steel pen, it's going to rust. I don't know where my other one is. It's here somewhere. It might be on the floor. Good thing I don't ever go barefoot. Ooh, that's already so pretty. It's already so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing all these other papers on here too. I like to look before I glue. Check my fit. Check the fit before I glue. So I love anything to do with the beach. I love the ocean. I love the wind. I love the birds. I love the breeze. I love the sound. The sounds of the ocean and the waves and the birds singing. And if there's people out there, I love listening to the just. If the waves are loud enough, unless the people are sitting like right next to you and yelling, usually you just kind of hear the voices or the playing in the background, and it's just background noise. And to me, there's not really much more relaxing than to sit out in a chair on the beach under an umbrella with the waves crashing up against the shore. The wind has to be blowing in the summer, otherwise it's too hot. But that, even when it's hot, most of the time I'm okay if I've got the umbrella over me. I'm a little fair. I can take the sun better than I could when I was younger, but still, if I didn't have an umbrella, I would burn, I'm sure. I get out in the sun some, and I don't stay out in it all day because I'm not 14 anymore, and I know better. So there are those two, and then I'm going to do these two pieces on this. I might turn one of them that way. They don't have to be the same. And it's only, I mean, I could make them all the same. I could have done them all with the water. But I want to make sure that the girls that come to my class tomorrow have paper, because I only bought 1 pack of this paper. And I want to be sure there's plenty for everybody to do a card. So I'll probably make another one tomorrow too, but I'll probably pull out another paper and use a different, maybe an older paper that's retired. I might use a retired paper on mine. And so that they can use the new papers. Because this will be, I'll have one here with the new paper. And I'm probably going to make this into a Father's Day card for somebody. A lot of the girls in our family have summer birthdays, but not many of the guys have summer birthdays in my family. So I have most of them are in the spring and then or in the November and December, but not like fun summer birthdays. So this will probably be good for Father's Day. Yeah. I'm already in love with this card, and I hadn't even put any of the pretty stuff, really. The little highlights that I'm going to put on here are hoping are going to make it even better. I hope. All right, so this is how it's going to look without any of the stuff on it. Let me find my pen. There it is. I'll stick my pen back in there. I actually had it in here the other day because I didn't realize I had left the pen off of it, and it was off of it for 2 whole days. And it still worked. I just had to squeeze on it a little bit pretty hard at first to get it going again, but then it was fine. So that was kind of interesting. Right now I can't get my pen back down in it though for some reason. It's only going part of the way. All right. Oh, and the little ball thing just fell off of it. All right, hang on. Time out. Time out. I'm coming back. I thought I had pliers. I have wire cutters, but I don't have pliers. See, like I said, that's a little cheap pen that I got at probably Walmart or somewhere like that. I'm going to try to put this on here without cutting it off. See if I can pull it out. And last time I used pliers, I thought I had some pliers in here. Come on out. Come on. Maybe I'm too low. I'm up a little higher. Like I said, I'm trying not to cut it. I'm just trying to pull. There it goes. Cut it out. We'll just leave the pin off of it for a while. Oh, I can find my pliers too. So, all right. Now, what am I going to put on the outside? Now, here's what I was thinking for the outside. I have this little guy that I love. And then this stamp set has this ocean front. It's also in the catalog. I don't have the information about where, but it's in our catalog. I could use some of these grasses to put around here at the bottom, or a rock. I could put these rocks down here underneath it and have this guy right here. Oh, I'm trying to remember what he's called. There's a guy down in I think he's at Surfside Beach in South Carolina. He's a photographer, and he takes pictures of wildlife. And he had a picture of one of these birds and what they really look like. I've got it on my phone somewhere, but I would like if I had a bigger one like that, I would like to try to, you can't do a lot of coloring with this. It's so small. But I thought I might try to color him like the real one looks. It was really pretty too, but just all these colors, just lots of color in it. That it was just wow. Just to see it, to be able to see it up close on a camera like that, it was pretty cool. So I have that. I also have, let me find it. a punch that is still in the catalog. It is still, it has not retired. The stamp set retired, but the punch did not. I'm looking for my Sailboat. Did I pull it out already? I didn't think I did. All right, there's the cloud. There's that and that and that. That's not a sailboat. That's a bird. Those are circles. None of those are sailboats. Monkey. There's the sailboat right here next to monkey. I don't know how I overlooked it, but there's the sailboat. And I could put it on. I could punch it out and just glue it together, put it on the piece of cardstock. And I could use this. And then, I don't really need anything on the last page. I could just put a sentiment on the last page. So, because I want something here. I want something on this flap. And I want something on this flap. And I could put something here too. But I want something on the flaps because I want them to like hang over the side. Actually, I might be using my leftover paper that I remember I cut those pieces off. The pieces that were like about this size or something. What did I do with them? No, I set them over here somewhere. Oh, here they are. I'm probably going to use these, actually. So they're going to get used on my card after all. Let me see my bird. I want to see how tall he is to see how big a piece I'd have to use. Okay, and then my boat. Okay. All right, let's do this. Piece of white. Okay. And I'm thinking I don't like the balmy blue as much. I don't wonder what that blue is. Let me read my paper here. Because when we do these tomorrow, we're going to do them with a different blue, I think. We got Boho blue. Maybe it's Boho. Misty Moonlight. I knew about that one. Interesting. That must have been Boho blue. So I'm going to use Boho blue for the rest of the card. I might try to go over that with a little bit of Boho to make it look better. We'll see. Let's see if this is going to be big enough if I cut it in half. I think so. I'm going to cut this little piece in half. It should be 5 1/4 by 4 because it was cut for a card front or for an inside. So I'm going to cut it in half this way. So so half of 5 1/4, half and 5 is 2 1/2, and then another quarter would be 1/8. So that's what, 2 5/8. And so both of these will be 2 5/8. But what I'm thinking is I might not even want them that size. Let's see. Because I'm going to want a piece here. See, that's kind of big. And I don't want to do it this direction. It needs to be this direction. I guess I'll just see if my Sailboat's going to fit on there. And I'm going to use I might use this. It's navy for the, how does the navy look? I think the navy will be okay. I'll punch a Sailboat out of this navy. Make sure I've got it in there completely. And it's got 3 little pieces. I'm going to grab them before I let my stamp open back up. There we go. All right. And I brought one of my little glue pads back in here. I washed them earlier tonight. Yep, there it is. I did bring it back in here. It's mostly clean. And I went and washed it under the sink real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and glue him together so I can see what I'm gonna need. Size-wise of paper. I try to remember how I did this in the past. I think it's like this. The wind's blowing the sails that way, so it would be blowing the little flag that way too. Okay. So I usually put this piece down first. Just gonna put a little dot of glue here. Come on, glue. I hope I didn't leave some of that needle in there. That would be grand. I'm gonna just do this right now, because I need to. Come on out. Whoops. Okay. I'll have to, and it might just be that I squeezed that closed a little bit with those cutters that I had. I can't tell. I have to order me a new tip if it doesn't come unstuck. Alright, so we're going to stick this on here. And by using this little silicone mat, my glue goes through to the bottom. It doesn't, it won't stick. It won't stick to this. So I can put my glue on it, and I don't have to worry about my paper sticking to it like it would stick on a piece of paper underneath, and then everything tears. I mean, it might stick a tiny bit, but it's going to come off. It's not going to give me a lot of grief to come off. So, but these pieces are so small. So there we go. So I'll move it over a little bit to dry, because I only had a small area that I could put glue on. Now when I put it on my piece of paper, I will use, I'm going to stick this in my mug right here so I don't lose it. On my piece of paper, I'll probably, I mean, I could just glue it down flat, or I could put it on dimensionals. But I think with what I'm doing here, I think it's going to end up being on, it's just going to be flat probably. It's probably not going to be on dimensionals. And the same with this. I could just stamp it on here, or I could stamp it and go die cut it out. But see, this card's already going to be kind of thick. And if I'm going to put a couple more things on it and sticking out, it's going to be kind of thick. So I don't know that I really want to put anything on dimensionals. You know, I might put a little piece of bling or something, and that will be enough to be sticking up. But we don't want to have too much thickness going on. I think he fits on here maybe. I think I've used him on that thinner one before too. But I think he works on here if I do it diagonally. And usually I'll stamp this guy in like crumb cake or pecan pie or something like that, and do him like on driftwood type colors, or the grays or the browns. But he's going to be on this blue, so I'm going to leave him blue. And again, I'm going to use, so this is the navy. I'm going to stamp him in the navy too, so that these are both of these pieces. I'm pretty sure that's navy. Yeah, that looks navy. Sometimes the navy and the starry sky look a lot alike. So I'm going to stamp him on here also. And I'm going to just leave him in this color. I might go in and, I don't know, I might go in and do something to his beak, but I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. I'm going to do this here. I'm thinking the rocks, I might put those rocks down underneath him. That turned out pretty good. So there were these rocks in this set. This set of 2 rocks. And maybe some of this, I don't know, the reeds might be too much. Let me do this tall grass. Tall grass might work. We'll see. We'll see if this is going to work. These 2, a couple more blocks here. Alright, and I think I'll actually use a different color for the, maybe some gray. Let's see how gray looks. Or smoky. I could do gray, this dark gray, then there's gray granite, and then there's smoky slate. I'm thinking I'm gonna try the dark gray and just see. I may not like it. I might have to start over. We'll see what happens. We shall see. Or I could just put water around him. I don't know. Let me see how these look over here. Put them right there. Let's see how that looks. It's a photopolymer stamp, but I think it's small enough that we're going to be okay stamping on this instead of getting out one of those mats. I think this will be all right. Because I have this mat and I have a piece of cardboard under it too, so I think we're okay. Let's try that. How's that? I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes and decide if I like it. And do I want to do these reeds in another color? Because I could stamp them here too. On the side here. I'm kind of thinking I should have done this the other way. I should have done the rocks first and then masked them off and put this so it looked like it was behind it. I'll have to do that. But I'm playing right now anyway, so it's fine. It's all good. I think I'm going to just see what this looks like with crumb cake. Just for the heck of it right now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should do the whole thing in the blue. I don't know. I really just don't know. So I know I'm doing this one over, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, even though this is not how I'll ultimately do this. I will end up doing this differently. But I put my stamp on the wrong way. Definitely won't be doing it that way. That was the wrong side of my stamp. Shoot. Alright, let's try this again. Do it on the other side. I'll put it here. And kind of figure out. I'm mostly trying to find out if I like that color or not. I'm not sure I like using 3 different colors. I could probably use the back, but I'm gonna not. All right, let's do this. Where's my, let's have another piece of that cardstock. There it is. Let's try again and just, I wanna do everything in blue this time. Where's my rocks, Kim? Where'd you put your rocks? I'll move the gray. There's the rocks. I'm gonna do everything in navy. So I'll do this first. And since I'm doing it this way, I don't think it will matter. How far down did I do that? I don't think it'll matter if I do the masking or not, but I might do the masking. Alright, so to do a masking, I'll show y'all how we do this. I'm going to use my little sticky note right here. And we're going to stamp another one of these up here on the sticky part of my sticky note. I should probably do it in a different color, but this is fine. We're going to do it right here. I'm going to get as much of it in the sticky part as I can. Okay? And then I've got to cut this out. At least the top part of it out anyway. I'll cut this out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be kind of close. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Let me get back in the camera here. Sorry about that. And I've just realized I've got my fan on again, y'all. I'm so sorry because my fan, I'll go back and listen to the video. I was like, oh, it's got that humming noise. I left my fan on. I haven't had my air conditioning on all week. It got a little cooler here. Well, it was getting cool here in the evenings still, like the low 60s. One night it got like down to 58. So the evenings have been really cool. And then I work all day. And then by the time I get off, it's getting cool again outside. So I just left my air conditioning off. I had it on a couple of days, I think, last weekend, but I hadn't had it on much. We had a part early spring where it got hot, and I had to turn it on for about 3 days. And then we got cold again. I don't really have to cut any more of this off, so let me just do this. And then we got cold again. Now this is where I have to be careful about having ink on my fingers. So I'm going to wipe them off because I was cutting that out, and I'm sure I got ink on my fingers just now. My paper towel stash is getting low over here too that I dry my hands on. That's okay, I'll get some more later. Alright, so I'm going to try to put this on here without getting my fingers dirty again. So what you want to do is you want to lay this on here on top of this. Now this comes in really handy when you're using different colors. Like if this were a little pink flower and I was putting a green leaf and I want my green leaf to be behind my flower, okay? You're going to have a little bit of it showing, but not a lot, the piece behind. That's why I said it might have been better to do it in a different color, and then that wouldn't have shown. All right, now I'm going to get my bird on the driftwood or on the log or whatever it is he's on here. And again, so if I was doing this in brown, it would be more important that that we had the rocks masked. That's called masking. It's a masking technique. So I'm going to do him right here. And I'm kind of crooked, but too late. I already laid him down. Lay him down and hoping I didn't mess it up. Okay, good. I was so afraid that I did the corner. I don't know what that my watch is getting caught on that paper. To push down, see, because I have all that ink right there on the edge. If I push down too hard, that ink's going to come off, and it's going to leave a little place with ink right here. And so, don't like doing that. And then I'm going to do my little leaves. I think I'm going to keep them in the same color. Got my stamp on the right way this time. Let's stamp it over here just to be sure. Yeah, I'm going to leave them in this. I want to see what it looks like all in blue, because I think I'm going to like it better all blue. And again, I'm going to leave my masking paper there behind my rock, on top of my rock. Whoops, and then I'm going to put some over on this side too, maybe just down a little lower. Although I could have done that one on top and had some stuff in front of the rocks. But these are going to be, everything's going to be behind the rocks. Okay, those are behind the rocks. A little ink down here. I think I'll do one in front of the rocks. How about that? But I don't want it down here. So this time I need some more sticky. I don't want it to go, just give me a whole nother piece. Sorry about that. I'm gonna do it kind of right here, so I'm not really as concerned about the rock over here. I just don't want it going below that. Okay, so I'm gonna do another one and put it in front, put this one in front of the rock. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now the next thing I wanted to do, because I'm checking my sizes. I need another piece. I'm going to use this one for now, even though that side of it's messed up. Figure out what I do with my little sailboat. Gotta love it. I set stuff down. I get busy, and then I set stuff down. And I cover things up. And let's close this. I think I'm going to leave it all navy. I'm okay with that. Since this is, you know, it's a blue card, I'm going to leave as much blue as I can. And I'm looking for the sailboat that I punched out and glued together a little while ago. And I don't know where it is. I'll set my little masking piece over there to do that. All right, sailboat, where are you? There's my cloud I used. There it is. Okay, found it. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's pull this down again so we can see my stuff at the top. All right, so this one would go here. I feel like I need some water behind it. All right, so where's my navy? Did I use navy? I used Misty Moonlight, didn't I, for my water on my other one. I want to use Misty Moonlight for my water. I don't really want all the waves. I just want some water. So I'm gonna stick to this side of my stamp. I don't want ink all over that, so I'm gonna move that over. Move some stuff over. And I'm just keeping this down here to know about what size I'm working with, because I want these two to be as close to the same size as I can get them. I'm not sure I like the waves coming up, the spray. I'll try doing something a little different. See, there was a stamp set with the sailboat that had some water, but that stamp set has retired now, so kind of messes things up just a little bit. And I don't want this straight, so I am going to borrow the top of this right here. Oops. Do it like, go ahead and do a little bit more ink there. I don't want my ink going way down. Okay, we're just gonna try to put it at the top here. Let's see how this does. might work. That might work. That was really more water than I wanted. And what color did I say? Boho blue. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this anyway, so I'm gonna cut off another piece of paper. I'm gonna finish playing with this one, but it's not gonna be my finished thing. Let me get out my Boho blue here for a minute. And my blue thing from earlier. Blending brush. It's not got hardly anything on it. Alright, let's do this. See how dark that comes off at first? So you want to get some of that off of there. And then come over here and add it to your color. That'll work. I just don't need it to go up that high. I think that's going to work. While I have you, I don't want this to be that dark, but just want to get a little bit of color so it's not white around it. All right, there we go. Let's look at that. I think that's probably a better blue. Yeah, I think so. If we don't look at that paper and just look at this paper, I think that's probably better. Okay, so we do that. All right, now I need to cut this piece of paper in half. Pull those out of my way. So I've got fingerprint on it already. Got ink on my fingers. All right, try this again, Kim. Keep an eye on my time. I don't know how long we've been on here. Oh, I need to finish because I don't like going this long. So let's get it finished. Got ink on that side too. 2.5 plus another 1/8. 2 3/8. All right, here we go again. We are gonna do, whoops, just about had a close call there. Where is my wave? Here's my wave. I want to try this a little different this time. I want to put this right here. Okay. Set him here for visual purposes. All right. Okay. I want to do it about right there. Okay. Pick that up. Flip it over this way. I didn't like the straight line across the bottom here, so I'm trying to fix it so it's not straight line. But I don't want ink where I don't want it either, you know, it's just do it about right here. Okay. And then I'll fill in a little bit because I right there, I'll get this long piece over here now. And I should have done it like this. So I don't want that getting on my, I don't want that other piece on there. Right here, it doesn't bother me as much as it's a little straight because you got a horizon in the distance. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but it doesn't bother me as much to be a little bit straight. Sorry getting my head up there, y'all. All right, here we go. That's going to be all I need to do to that, I think, with that color. And now I want my other color. Let's see how it's gonna be better now. All right, now get my Boho blue, and that'll lighten it up a little bit. Okay. There we go. Might save this one for something else. I might use that on something. Put my extra stuff up there. Now I'm going to close both of these stamp pads before an accident happens. All right, and I want to go over here. I'm running over to the behind me here, and I'm going to get out some die cuts because I want to see what I'm going to do. Find the ones I'm looking for. Find the die cuts I'm looking for. So they should be here. I'm getting some, I'm gonna get some dividers to put in here where I can label my dies so that I can find what I'm looking for better. It's supposed to be over here somewhere. Of course I can't find them now that I need them. It's my, actually, well, yeah, I'm trying to think what they're called. The dies, they got little scallopy edges. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember. Stitched. It's not stitched so sweetly. What is it called? If I have to, I can use mine. I can use the deckled rectangles. It's not what I want to use though, so I can't figure out where the ones are that I want to use. It's just weird. They should be right here. I don't know what I've done with them. I must have pulled them to use for something. Not that. Well, I know where they are. So I guess I'll use these deckled rectangles because I can't find the ones I want. Look, one more place. Oh, wait, there they are. There they are. All right, so we'll have a choice here of one of these. Figure out which one. Now that I'm thinking about it, because this is probably a masculine card, I probably don't want to use these. Those are more feminine looking. So I probably will stick to my deckled rectangles here. I miss those stitched rectangles though. I really, really liked the stitched rectangles. And so this is what I wanted to see. That would be the size to use right there. Wanted to make sure I could get my sailboat in there though. I still feel like I gave it too much water. But there's still an awful lot of water down here. I think I will just put one bird right here And then that's perfect on that one though. That's just perfect. Okay. And then I could do the next one up if it fits again on that blue that I was going to put behind it. Let's see if this is going to work. Perfect. So I'll need 2 of these for each card. So this is working out perfect, y'all. So it's 1 piece of cardstock for each card. And that includes all your, you know, your background pieces and stuff too. So that's pretty cool actually, because we're keeping it all kind of in one color family. So I'm going to leave y'all again for a minute, and I'll come back and I will cut these. If I can figure out how to delete this out of the camera, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how to edit on an iPad. Or on the phone, and I don't think it lets me. So there's that. All right, let's do this. This is going to be so cool. I think I can cut 2 things at the same time if I use the big one, the big cutter, not the mini one. Let's see if that works. Probably want to tape it down so it doesn't slip on me and mess up. So I'll try. Got some tape over here. I don't know if y'all can hear me real good with my fan going. I'm trying to talk a little louder while I'm over here on this side of the room. I was hoping I could print 2 of these at the same time. I mean, not print, die cut 2 at the same time. I definitely don't want the one to move that's got my bird. The blue doesn't matter so much. We want the bird, we don't want it moving. I'm going to take that one down. Probably should have gotten some more tape out before I started. Alright, let's put that back over there. Okay. Put the top on. And round 1. Fingers crossed. Getting those grooves right. Cuts out right. Should get it. There we go. We're going to do one more blue and one more white, and we will be back over there to the crafting space. Make sure everything's punching out okay and it gets stuck. Split my blue around. Split the blue around. Well, come on. Be cooperative now. Be cooperative. Alright. I was trying to not be cooperative, but alright. Put my blue down again. Let's do this over as far as I can. So I can bring through the other piece. I should have brought this over there and now could have watched me do it. It's just, I don't have it. I've probably got too much junk over there right now. So I have room. Alright, now we're going to do the piece that the boat goes on. I can get the die back out. Alright, little see my little water for my boat. Water for my boat. Alright, and that's the top. Put more at the top, more white at the top than I do at the bottom. Alright, and we'll run this through. And this should be it. Sailboat. Alright. I think I need to get me a regular computer, because I think they say if you have a webcam you can go do YouTube lives from a webcam, but you got to have a webcam. I have to have a regular computer. I guess it's because They just don't want everybody doing the mobile phone thing. I mean, because it could be just, I guess it could just be madness if everybody had a cell phone was doing YouTube lives. So, yeah, I guess I kind of get that. All right, so here we go. Cute, 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 cute. And then there's a piece left here if I need this to like put behind a sentiment or something. There's still another little piece of that left for my, and so these are the deckled rectangles that I used, okay, for the backgrounds behind these. So cool. Just so cool, like that. Put this tape away. So I need to glue all of this down. Get my crazy glue. Woo! With that tip on there, it comes out a lot thicker. Just let you sit there for a second. We'll do this one. So I think this was the third and the fourth rectangular. The rectangles going from the smallest one. I think it was either 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 on the sizes. Starting with the smallest on the inside would be 1. Oh, this is so cute. And I'm good with it all being the same color, really. I really am. I like that, actually. I do like it. And I'm just trying to get, you know, the border to be about the same all the way around. I forgot to stamp a bird on here. Let me pull my black out again. Although I might just do a blue bird, actually. Because it's so close to all this other blue. The other one had, there was more difference in the colors here. So I think the black was okay. But on these, I think I'm going to stick with the blue for my birds. We're just going to get one bird with the sailboat, I believe. And we'll put one right here. And we'll put a couple with this bird. And there we go. Just add a little something. Yeah, because I don't think, because I'm going to have to get my boat up kind of high. Whoops. I want my boat to be this direction. And I don't know that I'd have room. Look at that, I've got something smudgy on there again. I'm going to try this mono eraser. Let's see if I can get some. I think that might be from the tape that I had on here to hold my paper in place. It kind of left a little mark. And then because of that, then something sticks on top of it. That's a little better than it was. Now, I don't want to put dimensionals. I'm just going to glue it down. I'm going to do my boat kind of at a tilt a little bit. Let's do it just like, just a tiny tilt. Let's put glue on the back. Glue on the back of my boat. I gotta be careful because it's a small boat and this glue, the way I have it right now, could come out in big pieces. I did pretty good though. Did pretty good. I'm loving this. I'm just gonna finish this part up and you get the idea of the card, and I'll put the embellishments and everything on it, and I'll come back and show it. I'll post it later with the finished product. I need to take that over just a little bit before it sticks. I went too far that way. There we go. That was hanging off a little bit and I didn't want it hanging off. All right, y'all, this is so cute. This is turning out. My expectations were at the very least met, probably exceeded my expectations, quite honestly. I wasn't sure what to expect. Now, which one do I want on the front and which one do I want in the back? That's the question. So one's going to go here and one's going to go in front of it. kind of hiding it so you don't know what's back there. And I'm kind of thinking like this, because this is land, this is not water, and this is not water. So I'm thinking he will go here, and then when I open it up, I'm starting to have some water now, so I'll have the boat will be in the water. And we'll have him. Now we could have it stick out just a tiny bit if we wanted to. I did this on my last card a little bit, so, but it was different colors of background. So you could have it so one edge peeks out behind the other edge, like so. Or you could have them flush, one in front of the other. You could also do them like this. So there's some options on how you lay them on your card. The other one I did with the different characters and whatnot. The other one I did it kind of like this, but the back, everything was a different color. It was like lots of different colors. And so I liked being able to see the different colors. On this one, I think I'm gonna like it better, one in front of the other, because then I can still see my birds here, and I can still see my water real good right here. And it's kind of just, we're gonna just kind of center it on there as best we can. I think I'm gonna do that. So what we'll do is figure out where we're gonna put them. Probably about right here. That's not very much to hold on there, is it? Might need to go in just a touch, because I gotta make sure I have enough for this to hold on. All right, so I'm gonna put my fingers right here. Put one here. So my glue needs to stay over here. I don't want my glue out any further than that. That might have been pushing it right there a little bit. You see, because you don't have but a little bit of space that's got to hold on. And the other thing I'm going to do is lay this down. It'll be about right there. And I'll try to center it as best as possible, from top to bottom. Got everything crooked here though. It'll be amazing if I can do it. That should be about right. Let me maybe push it in just a touch. Push it in just a touch. I'm getting paper straight. Get everything straight. It's pretty good. Okay. All right. I keep getting this Post-it tape all over my arms. I'm setting my arms down on top of it. Now then, this one's going to go right behind it. And I could put something here too. I just don't know what right now. I'll have to think about it. I might put a sea turtle there. I had my sea turtles over here, and I may put a sea turtle on this side. Or I could put my little white box still on here to write on, because I don't know that I want to write on here. I could put a sentiment right here on top of the wave. But I think as far as like, if somebody wanted to write, you know, thanks for so much you've done in my life, yada, 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 I love you. You know, that could be done here if I put a little piece of white here. And see, that's not going to show. And then I could have a sentiment right here in the waves. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so in order to get this piece on there, so this piece is going to glue to here, okay? But we want it to be directly behind this piece. So the way you do it is you line it up like this. So we want it directly behind that one as best we can. With a deckled edge, it's kind of hard to do. Okay, and then you're not going to put glue up here, because see, the glue's going to be from here over, okay, on that one. So somewhere right in here, down is where the glue is going to go. But I want to leave these two together. I'm going to go about right here in my glue. Alright, and I'm going to make sure I'm holding this straight. And let's see it from that side. Down. Top to bottom. And side to side. I'm going to make sure it's kind of straight. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to lay it down here. Like so. I should have probably put some glue on the piece. I'll do that next time. Okay, that's good. I think that's enough glue that it's going to stay. I think we're good. All right, and then really all I have to do now is add a sentiment and do a little bit of decoration. You know, maybe a couple little blings, or I don't think I'll put a bow. If I do put any kind of bow, I would put our linen thread, actually, even though it's not blue. I think this would be okay. And so I may do this on my one for tomorrow. I might put it right here, or put it between these two pieces of paper and put that there. Or not. I don't know. I don't know that it needs it. By the time I put a little bit of bling on here, it's probably going to be all it needs. There's something, and again, something sticky right there. Try to get it off. It feels a little bit better. Okay. So here we go. I'm not exactly sure what this card's called. I got this off of, and I had to modify it a little bit because the girl that I saw do it, she was in Canada. It was a young girl. I cannot remember her name. I follow her on YouTube. But she was a young girl in Canada, and also a Stampin' Up demonstrator. But she did it with 12 by 12 paper. So her dimension, her paper was longer. Instead of it being 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, hers was a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So hers was 5.5 by 11 and a half instead of 11 maybe. I think I had to adjust it a 1/2 inch. So I had to change where my score lines and everything were to get it to work out right. And like I said, I apologize, I can't remember her name. So we'll put a sentiment here. We'll put a little writing panel right here. And a little bit of bling. And it's ready to go. It's pretty little card to be a Father's Day card. Another option for doing this is that you could actually glue these two pieces together right here, so that when you open it, it just does like this, and it does like this. So you could do that, or like I said, you could just leave it like this. I'm actually toying with gluing mine together. I don't know. I can't decide if I want to do it like that or not. I will think about it. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, Kim's Creations and Card Ministry. And it's a ministry because I pretty much give away all my cards. I do have a few. I sell a few. People ask me to make some for certain things, and I will make a few and sell them. So if you ever want me to do cards for you, that's fine. You can talk to me about that, and I can do some custom cards or whatever. Just don't. You need to give me some time, because it's time consuming, and I might have another project to do too. And I work a full-time job outside of my home. So I stay pretty busy. I did a little bit of yard work. Been trying to do some yard work too before it gets too hot, since we've had some nice cold weather. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by and watching. Be sure and like that, and go on the YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Share my video. And if you have any comments to make, I will graciously take positive comments. If they're not positive, I don't want them, as I have enough negativity in my life. You guys have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you again, I hope everybody has a nice holiday weekend, and we are celebrating Memorial Day on Monday, and I'm thankful for all those people that have served and provided for our country over all the years, and we love and appreciate all those people that have done it in the past and the people that are still doing it today. I really appreciate that, and you all have a great weekend. Take care, and God bless.